My name is Lexi Henderson. I was 28 when a semi ran a stop sign and folded my car like a soda can on I-75 outside Cleveland. My boss got the call at 6:12 in the morning. Patrick McCarthy was in the ICU waiting room before his coffee got cold. My mother, Greta Anderson, got the call at 6:15. She didn't show up. Not that day, not the next. I didn't know that yet. I was too busy learning what it feels like to break your back and still be alive to feel it. I'd been driving to the office early like always. Someone had to open the store. Someone had to count the register before the morning rush. That someone was always me. When I woke up, the world was white and it wouldn't stop beeping. A nurse named Billy Jordan was standing over me, checking a line taped to my arm. "Hey there, you're at St. Vincent's. Car accident. Do you know your name?" I tried to nod. Pain went through my spine like someone had run electricity through it. "3 fractured vertebrae," he said. "You're going into surgery. We had to stabilize you first." I tried to ask for my mother. What came out was a croak. "Your manager's outside," Billy said. "He's called 4 times already." My manager, not my mother. Not my father, John Stewart. Patrick McCarthy walked in looking like a man who'd aged 5 years in 5 hours. He ran the store like clockwork and never let anyone see him rattled. Now his eyes were bloodshot. "Jesus, Lexi." He pulled a chair to the bed. "I called your emergency contact. Your mom picked up." Hope, stupid and immediate, cracked open in my chest. "She said—" He stopped, looked at the floor. "She said she and your dad are dealing with something important, said they'd get here when they could." Something important. I already knew what it was. My brother Fabian's product launch, the smart water bottle startup he'd been building for 2 years, with $63,000 of my money. The launch event I'd paid $9,000 to throw him 3 states away that night. "They're coming, right?" Patrick asked, watching my face change. I closed my eyes instead of answering. Patrick stayed 3 hours. My coworker Hallie Sanders brought flowers on her lunch break. My assistant Aya dropped off my laptop charger, and Patrick actually snapped at Aya for it. She needs to rest, not work. My parents didn't come that day. Surgery was at 7 the next morning. Spinal fusion, 4 to 6 hours. The surgeon, Dr. Ashton Austin, sat with the consent forms and asked gently, "Is there anyone who should be here for this conversation?" "They're coming," I lied. She looked at me the way people look at you when they already know you're lying to yourself. At 7:40 that night, my phone rang. "Mom." "Sweetheart, how are you feeling?" "I have surgery tomorrow morning. It's spinal. They said there's a risk of—" "Honey, listen, we have a small problem." That voice, the pleading one I'd known my whole life. "Fabian's launch is tonight, in Nashville. All the investors will be there. This could be everything for him." "I could be paralyzed, Mom." "I know, baby, I know, but you're strong. The doctors know what they're doing, and Fabian has worked so hard for this." I'd worked hard too. I'd worked overtime for 2 years to fund it. "We'll come right after. Sunday, probably. You'll be sleeping most of the time anyway." Sunday, 2 days after they'd promised to be here at all. "Your brother wanted me to tell you, when the company takes off, you'll get every dollar back with interest." I'd heard that line before, after the 10,000, after the 25, after all 63. "I have to go," I said. "They're bringing dinner." She hung up before I could say anything else. I didn't eat that dinner. Billy found me staring at the ceiling around 9. "No one coming tomorrow?" he asked, already knowing the answer from my face. "My brother has an event," I said. Something shifted behind his eyes. Not surprise, recognition. "Then I'll walk you to pre-op myself," he said. "You won't go in there alone." I fell asleep crying, which made my back hurt worse, which made me cry harder. The surgery took 6 hours. When I opened my eyes, I couldn't feel my legs. And 3,000 miles away, in a ballroom my money had paid for, Greta Anderson was raising a champagne glass in a dress I'd never seen, smiling for a camera, while her daughter lay numb from the waist down and utterly, completely alone. Location: St. Vincent's Medical Center, Cleveland, Ohio, Day 3 post-surgery. Day 2, still no parents. Fabian posted 17 Instagram stories from the launch. Signature cocktails named after app features. Investors in blazers. My parents tagged in every single one. Greta in a new dress. John in a suit I didn't recognize. They'd had time to shop. They didn't have time to drive back. Feeling came back into my legs that evening, and with it, pain that cut through even the medication. Dr. Austin was pleased. No paralysis, fusion solid. "You'll need someone at home for at least 2 weeks," she said. "No driving, no stairs. Do you have family who can help?" I thought of my parents, probably still holding champagne glasses in Nashville. "I'll figure it out," I said. Day 3. Mom called at 11 a.m. "Honey, how are you feeling? Listen, the launch was incredible. Fabian made so many connections. One investor's talking $500,000. Can you believe it?" I could. I'd already put in $63,000 of my own. "When are you coming?" I asked. "That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Fabian has follow-up meetings today and tomorrow. We need to be here for him. You understand, right? This is the biggest opportunity of his life." "Mom, I can't walk to the bathroom by myself." "The nurses are there for that, sweetheart. Oh, and one more thing. Fabian needs a new blazer for the investor dinner tomorrow. His card's maxed out from the party. Could you Venmo him $400? The party I'd already paid for. I hung up mid-sentence, turned my phone off. Billy Jordan found me crying an hour later. I didn't tell him about the Venmo request. I was too ashamed. That night, after his shift should have ended, Billy came back in and pulled out his phone. "I'm not supposed to show you this," he said quietly. "I could get in trouble, but I think you need to see it." Security footage. Timestamp 11:47 p.m. the night after my surgery. A woman, maybe 60, gray hair, kind face, holding a small gift bag. She stood outside my door for almost 3 minutes, just looking at the room number, then walked away without coming in. "She's come back every night since," Billy said. "Won't say who she is, just leaves things at the nurse's station and makes us promise not to say." I looked at the gifts on my windowsill I'd assumed were from coworkers. A novel, bookmark already placed at chapter 1, lavender lotion, dark chocolate truffles, the only kind I actually liked, a card that just read, "You're stronger than you know." Someone knew things about me my own mother didn't bother to remember. "Who is she?" I whispered. Billy shook his head. "I don't know, but somebody's here, Lexi, every single night, while your family's in Nashville." I didn't sleep that night, not from the pain. From the question I couldn't stop asking myself. If a stranger cared enough to show up in silence, why couldn't my own mother pick up the phone and mean it? Day 4. The day my parents had sworn they'd arrive by afternoon, at the latest. I waited, checked my phone until the screen burned into my eyes. Nothing. Then, at pre-PM, a text from Mom. "Running late, be there by dinner." By 7, "Actually going to stay one more night. Fabian has another meeting. Be there tomorrow." At 9, Dad called. First time in 4 days. Lexi, your mother and I have been talking. Fabian's opportunity here is really something special. We think we should stay through Tuesday." "I'm being discharged tomorrow," I said flatly. "Oh, well, that's great news. See, you don't even need us." "I can't drive for 6 weeks. I can't do stairs. I need help getting dressed." "Can't a friend help? Or you could hire someone. Fabian's future is on the line here." Fabian's future, built on my money, my sacrifice, my broken spine. I hung up, turned the phone off, didn't turn it back on. Billy found me staring at the wall an hour later. "They're not coming, are they?" he said, not a question. "No." He sat down slowly. "The woman came again tonight, asked if she could see you, said she didn't have the right, but she wanted you to have this." An envelope. Inside, a card, handwriting careful and small. "I know I'm not supposed to be here, but I couldn't stay away. I'm so sorry for everything. You deserved better. You still do. M." Not Mom, not Dad. M. "Who is she?" I asked. "I think," Billy said, "you should ask her yourself. She's in the waiting room right now." My heart slammed against my ribs. "She's here?" "Every night, Lexi. Every single one, since the accident. Your parents didn't manage one." I thought about my parents drinking champagne in Nashville, about Fabian in a new blazer, spending my money to charm strangers, about every time in 28 years I'd come in second, third, not at all. "Send her in," I said. The door opened slowly. The woman from the footage stepped in, hesitating like she was afraid of the room itself. Up close, I could see it. The same green eyes I saw every morning in the mirror, the same small nose, even the same slight cleft in the chin I'd always hated on myself. "Lexi," she said. "Hi, my name is Madeline." Madeline. M. "I know I shouldn't be here," she said quickly. "I know I don't have the right, but when I heard about the accident, I couldn't stay away. I've been following your life from a distance for 18 years, but I couldn't just watch this time." 18 years? I was 10 when this woman apparently vanished from my life. "Who are you?" I whispered. She took a shaking breath. "I'm your godmother, your father's sister. I'm the aunt you don't remember because your parents cut me out of your life when you were 10 years old." The room tilted. "Why?" I managed. "Because I told them what they were doing to you. Because I called them out for favoring Fabian. Because I offered to pay your college tuition instead of letting them guilt you into working 3 jobs while he went to a private university on their dime." Her voice cracked. "Because I chose you over them, and they couldn't forgive that." I couldn't process it. "You've been watching me for 18 years? "Not watching, making sure. The scholarship that covered your dorm senior year, that wasn't the school. That was me. The rebate that fixed your car 3 years ago, me." The room was spinning now, and it had nothing to do with the morphine. "Why would you do that?" The words came out as a sob. Madeline moved closer, sitting carefully in the chair Patrick had used 4 days earlier. "Because I was in the delivery room when you were born. I held you when you were 6 hours old. Your father asked me to be your godmother, and I promised him I'd always look out for you. When I saw what they were turning you into, their bank account, their sacrifice, their built-in excuse not to try harder with Fabian, I tried to stop it. They chose to erase me instead of listening, but I never stopped the promise." I was crying now, and it hurt my back, and I couldn't make myself stop. "They left me here," I said, "for a launch party. My money paid for that party." "I know," Madeline said. "I've watched them take and take from you for years while you gave and gave. When I heard about the accident, when I saw they weren't coming, I thought, maybe this is when she finally sees it. I don't know how," I thought. "I don't know how to just—" "I think you do," Madeline said gently, like she'd read my mind. "You turned off your phone. You said no to the $400. Those are the first steps. They'll be furious. They'll survive. Madeline's eyes didn't waver. The question is, will you? Do you know what the paramedics told the ER? You'd been working 23 days straight before the crash. When's the last time you took a single day off? I couldn't remember. I genuinely could not remember. You're killing yourself funding Fabian's dreams while your parents cheer him on. When does it stop, Lexi? I didn't answer. I didn't have to. We both already knew. Then my phone, the one I thought I'd turned off, buzzed once face down on the tray table, a text lighting the screen through the plastic. Madeline glanced at it, then at me, her expression suddenly very still. "You should probably look at that," she said. "I think it's your mother, and I think she just found out about me." I turned the phone over with shaking hands. "Mom, who is Madeline Henderson, and why is she at your hospital? Fabian saw a check register. Did you give that woman access to your accounts? Call me right now." I stared at it for a long moment. Not fear, something colder. She's not asking if I'm okay. She's asking about money. Madeline didn't say, "I told you so." She didn't have to. Her face said it for her. The phone rang before I could set it down, Mom's name flashing. I looked at Madeline. She nodded once, "Your choice," and I answered. Put it on speaker. "Emma?" "Lexi." My mother's voice arrived already sharp, already accusing. "Why is Madeline Henderson at your hospital? Why is she in your room?" "She's been here every night since my surgery. You haven't been here at all. That woman poisoned this family years ago. She sent me a scholarship, anonymously, for 4 years, while you told me I had to work 3 jobs because there was no money, the same year you paid Fabian's tuition in full." Silence. Real silence, the kind that tells you everything. "That money," Mom said slowly, "was never yours to accept without asking us. I was 18. I didn't know who it was from. Neither did you, apparently, until just now. Lexi, listen to me. Whatever she's told you, she's manipulating you. She left this family. She's trying to use you to punish your father." I looked at Madeline. She sat perfectly still, hands folded, letting me have this. "She's the only person who showed up. You want to talk about who's using who? I gave Fabian $63,000. You asked me for 400 more while I was recovering from spinal surgery. Where's the manipulation in that math, Mom? That is not—" Her voice cracked into something uglier. "You are so ungrateful after everything we sacrificed for you." "What did you sacrifice?" I asked. My own voice didn't even sound like mine, steadier than I felt. "Name one thing. One time you chose me over him." Nothing, just breathing on the line, and somewhere behind it I could hear Nashville, glasses clinking, someone laughing. "We are your parents," she finally said. "Family forgives. Family shows up. You didn't, not once. Not for the surgery, not for the 6 hours I didn't know if I'd walk again, not even a text that wasn't about money. Fabian needs—" "I don't care what Fabian needs." Saying it out loud felt like breaking a bone that had been set wrong for 20 years and was finally being reset right. I'm done being the emergency fund for a business that's never once turned a profit. I'm done being second choice in my own family. "You'll regret this," Mom said, and her voice had gone cold now, flat. "When you're older, when you're alone, you'll understand what you threw away." "I'm not throwing anything away. You already left. Weeks ago. I'm just finally noticing." I hung up. My hand was shaking so hard, the phone nearly slid off the blanket. Madeline reached over and steadied it, steadied me, without a word. "That's the first time," she said quietly, "I've ever heard someone stand up to her and not apologize by the end of the sentence." "I feel sick," I admitted. That's not regret. That's your body catching up to a boundary it's never had before. She paused. Where are you supposed to go when you're discharged today? I thought about my empty apartment. Second floor, no elevator, stairs I wasn't cleared to climb for 6 weeks. I don't know, I said. I hadn't let myself think that far. Come stay with me. I have a ground floor guest room, no stairs, and she hesitated, like she was almost afraid to offer it. I'd like the chance, if you'll let me, to actually be here, not from a distance, not through anonymous checks. Here. I didn't answer right away. 18 years of a stranger's love versus 28 years of a family that only called when they needed something. It wasn't a small thing to weigh, even with the answer this obvious. Okay, I finally said. Madeline's eyes filled, and for the first time since she'd walked into that room, she let herself cry too. Dr. Austin came in at 9 to sign the discharge papers. Who's picking you up? She asked, pen hovering. I looked at Madeline. My aunt, I said, and saying it out loud, claiming her out loud, to a stranger, felt like the first true thing I'd said about my family in years. But as Madeline wheeled my bag toward the elevator an hour later, my phone buzzed one more time. Not Mom. Fabian. 63 grand, and you're really doing this to me right now? I have investors flying in Friday. I need 8,000 by Wednesday or I lose the deal. You owe me this, Lexi. You're my sister. I stared at the message until the elevator doors opened. Madeline glanced at my face. What is it? I turned the screen toward her without a word. Her jaw tightened. What are you going to do? I didn't answer yet. I just pressed the button for the ground floor and watched the number count down, and let the silence be my answer for one more minute before I had to decide. 6 months later. I never answered Fabian's text that day, not with money, not with an explanation. I just turned my phone face down in Madeline's car and watched the hospital shrink in the side mirror. That was 6 months ago. The first few weeks at Madeline's house were the hardest thing I've ever done, and I say that as someone who relearned how to walk with 2 titanium rods in her spine. Physical therapy 3 times a week, learning to sit up without my back screaming, and underneath all of it, the harder work, learning to let my phone ring without flinching, learning that silence from my parents wasn't a punishment, it was just quiet. Fabian texted 11 more times that first month, then calls, then a message from a number I didn't recognize. He'd borrowed someone's phone after I blocked his. Investors pulled out because of you. Hope you're happy. I wasn't happy. I was healing. Those turned out to be 2 very different things. Mom tried once more 3 weeks in. A voicemail, her voice gone soft and wounded in a way I recognized now as a tool, not an apology. Lexi, honey, we miss you. Your father's not doing well. All this stress. Madeline's turned you against your own blood. When you're ready to come home, we'll be here. I never called back. Home, I realized, had never been a place they gave me. It had always been something I built for myself, usually alone, usually exhausted, always for someone else's benefit. Patrick held my job for me, 6 weeks paid leave, no questions, and when I came back part-time, he pulled me aside on my first day. How are you really doing? He asked. Better, I said, and for the first time in years, I meant it. Your mother called the store twice while you were out, he added carefully, asked if we could advance you some pay, said you had unexpected expenses. My stomach dropped. Even sick, even out of reach, they'd found a way to try. What did you tell her? We don't do advances, and that it wasn't my place to give out your information. He paused. Lexi, whatever's going on with your family, you don't owe anybody an explanation here. You're valued for who you are, not for what you can hand over. I cried in the break room for 10 minutes after that conversation. Good tears, for once. Madeline and I fell into a rhythm neither of us had ever had with anyone. Sunday dinners, long, unhurried conversations about the 18 years we'd lost, what she'd watched from a distance, what I'd survived without knowing anyone was watching at all. You showed me a story once, she told me one night, about a girl who could talk to the stars. It was beautiful. What happened to that kid? I didn't have an answer. Somewhere between middle school and adulthood, I'd been taught that being practical mattered more than being anything else. Fabian got to dream, I got to fund the dreaming. So I started writing again. Badly at first, then less badly. Madeline bought me a notebook and told me it didn't have to be good, it just had to be mine. 3 months in, Fabian's company collapsed. I heard it from a mutual friend, not from him. The app never launched, the investors walked, the office in Nashville got shut down for missed rent. Part of me expected to feel vindicated. I mostly just felt tired, the way you feel when a storm you saw coming for years finally lands, and there's nothing left to clean up. He called me from a blocked number a month after that. I picked up by accident, my thumb slipping on the screen. Lexi, please. I know things have been bad between us, but I'm about to lose my apartment. I just need $8,000 to get back on my feet. You're my sister. You can't just let me end up on the street. A year ago, I would have already been transferring the money before he finished the sentence. I hope you figure it out, Fabian, I said. I mean that, but I can't help you. You're really going to do this to your own brother? I already did it for my own brother, I said quietly. For years. I'm just done doing it. I hung up. He didn't call back. Dad reached out once more near the end of the 6th month. A short text. Your mother's not doing well. She'd like to see you. I sat with that message for 3 days. In the end, I sent a card. No money, no visit. Just, I hope things get better for you both. I'm not able to be part of it right now. That was the last contact I've had with either of them. Last week, I moved into my own place. First floor, no stairs, 15 minutes from Madeline's. She helped me carry boxes despite my protests that she should let her 70-year-old knees rest. We ordered pizza and ate it on the floor because the furniture hadn't arrived yet. And it was, without question, one of the best nights of my life. You did it, she said, looking around at the half-empty rooms. We did it, I corrected. People sometimes ask me if I regret walking away from my parents, if I miss them, if there's a version of reconciliation I'm holding out for. The truth is simpler than they expect. I don't miss being an ATM with a heartbeat. I don't regret choosing the people who actually showed up over the people who only called when they needed something. It took a broken spine to teach me that no is a complete sentence. I finally learned it, and I'm not giving it back.